What's happening, guys? It's Matt with the Holsterdude. We're going to fill an order today for a couple of Smiths. User information is blocked out, but these were firearms that I didn't quite have the molds for, so prepped them, created them, and they're ready to roll. They're both going to be sublimation prints, so you'll see a little bit of the sublimation process, which really is nothing fancy to watch, but that's going to be on here. So quick overview. IWB right-hand draw M&P 2.0 compact 4-inch with a graphic print of Hexcam Adirondack on standard Kydex. DCC Monoblock. Apparently this one has no dot. Irons only. And then we got another one, IWB right-hand draw M&P 2.0 again, but it's a full size. Graphic prints, 3D mangled camo on standard texture Kydex, and also DCC Monoblock. Just happens to be this guy is fairly local. Don't know that we ever met, but let's roll on. Okay, just so happens both of these sublimations are gonna be on tan. So grab a couple pieces of tan from here, or one. Cut this in half. This is a 1x2 sheet. Simple score and snap. If you've done drywall, same thing, but you don't have to back cut. There you go. Two pieces here. But what we're gonna do is take a little bit of moisture out of it first. Adjust this camera a touch. So throw it in here, give it a little press. Take this guy, do the same thing. While we're at it, I've already printed two prints that we need for this. And let's carry on, get some music going here. We'll take steps. If you've ever ordered from me, you probably got a take step sticker. You might be wondering what the hell that is. That is a local band that absolutely fucking rocks. That should be enough just to pull some moisture out. Wait on that one. So the sublimation process, it's a little bit of, it's not black magic, but it's pretty simple stuff. Special paper, special ink, heat press. Time and temperature matters, so does the pressure. And why do we try and take humidity out of the material first? Well, if you don't, your print sticks. Then you've got cleanup to deal with afterwards. We're gonna make sure that that's on the outside, gets cut off. Typically, I'm a little more careful not to get debris on the material. Okay, those are gonna take about 10 minutes a piece, so we may as well grab the molds that we need. These are both in drawer 26. Take a walk. I have a database with all this stuff. I just know they're in 26 because I just finished these. Trim jig for the full size. Trim jig for the compact. Again, IWB right hand draw for both, and they both get monoblocks. They are not getting wedges. They are not rocking wings. No wing, no wedge, no washers. Okay. What do we have here? Blockings for DCC like Mod 4 hooks, and then this is your right hand draw and left hand draw blocking for DCC Monoblock, like this. One of these guys. Pull two of these out, 1.5 inch. Those are the deals. All right, so that's your right hand draw. Snaps right in place. I know the guy that makes these molds, so I know it's going to be right. That guy might be me. I hit him pretty good with some PTFE spray. Just make sure stuff is going to fit when we're ready. Bag this back up so we don't get things cross-contaminated here. Do the compact. Right hand draw. Give this guy a little piece of tape. You know, sometimes there's points of interest on the molds that make these blocking pieces stay in place positively. And then other times we hit it with a little piece of tape to make sure that it's not going to shift when we hit the vacuum. Like this one's on there. It's not going anywhere. But that one was a little bit different. Some features and things like that during the mold creation that will sometimes lock onto. There's features built into these molds too that help with release of the material. So drilling pilots for inside the waistband, you got tapered edges and things like that. Giving my secrets away. They shouldn't be secrets. It's just common design knowledge. Fits the full size, should fit the compact, no problem. So what are we using for the full size? Because this is where I usually screw stuff up. I try and do one at a time so that this doesn't happen. But the full size is getting the 3D mangled camo. Cool. This guy is getting the pinkish orange print. Do I remember which one I put in which press? No, I do not. I'm going to pause you here because we're just going to hurry up and wait. We got about 260 seconds left on the clock. I guess while we wait, we can pull some hardware. Both getting the same thing. This is our retention hardware. Retention screws. And we gotta do it again for the DCC Monoblock. Just smaller stuff. That's that. Let's go see the chickens. What's up, ladies? Some of the girls hanging out. There's my big feathered cock over here. There's a bagel. He's a horny little bastard. lady right there, this is probably her first time laying ever. She's not quite sure what's going on. Got some boxes there. We got somebody in here too. She was broody for about 2 months. Hopefully she's just trying to lay an egg today, because she's been a little sociable lately. You'll figure it out, little lady. Got about a minute left on one of these. A little more time on another. And this is why you don't start two at the same exact time. All right. Let's get her done. Who do we have first?
I walk everywhere.
All right, I guess I'll turn the music down. We'll talk our way through this one. So the blocking that I create allows me to pre-drill all the holes. Then I go through here and I'll knock the majority of the edge off. Need a little bit of music. After that, I'll put it through the gym jig and we'll see what we get. So we did a rough cut, and we'll do a second rough cut. Following that, we'll run it through the router. Why 2 rough cuts? Really just comes down to when I rough cut once with the trim jig in place. 1, you run the risk of nicking the trim jig, and 2, you can get a lot of feedback from the bandsaw blade, and it wants to kind of yank the material out of your hand from time to time. So 2 cuts it is. Another question I get asked a lot too is why can't you just run it through the router? Router's a little too aggressive. It wants to throw the whole workpiece across the room if you wrap the material clear around the blade. That's why. Small bites. Not very often we get orders without an optic cut. Got to move the workpiece into the blade. You can't shove it in, you have to move it in the direction you're working. So if you haven't checked out Take Steps, you really should. They kick ass. So you may have noticed that these are actually cut for the fuck are those things called? Appendix wings. But the client selected none. Sometimes I'll make the trim jigs semi-generic, meaning they have feature, well, I guess you could call it non-generic. They have features built into them that you might not use, but you can easily cut off. So I'll cut this basically right here, basically along the trigger guard, straight across on the Kydex itself. Eliminates the need to have, you know, 6 different trim jigs for the same firearm. Let's put this shit away. This is the full size. This is the compact. Oh, that bag was open. Anyway, we'll deal with that another time. Not the end of the world. Okay. Glasses. Important. Okay. You might ask, if this isn't wearing a wing, why haven't I cut these off yet? The reason is I really try to make everything be perfectly symmetrical wherever possible. So if I cut this off now, there's a very small chance that I'm going to have the exact same angle on this side. So I'll make the fold over, and then I'll strike my line, and then I'll cut it all together. It is what it is. That's how I do. So I'm going to find this blue gun to fold over, and be right back. All right, we got our full-size blue gun. Look at that. Imagine that. So if you're new to this, what a lot of people will typically do is put a layer or two of tape on their blue guns and even their real firearms at the pinch points. So, you know, your holsters, at least this style holster, folds over on top of the slide, right? So if you make just a little bit of extra clearance up here, You get a lot less wear on things like Cerakote, and the retention actually happens where it's supposed to, while still fitting really nicely on the slide. So retention on a non-lighted firearm would be at the front of the trigger guard. You know, there's a constant debate. My gun is wearing the finish, my holster's a piece of shit. Yeah, okay, well, you can certainly have that opinion, that's fine. I like to keep my guns clean. So I would be kind of pissed too if I bought a new holster and 100 draws later the finish is all fucked up. So anyway, I'm not saying that a holster won't do that. They will do that, but you can slow that down, okay? Also, keep your holster clean. So you shoot outside mostly, I would assume, and dirt and shit gets in there, you know, wipe it out. Anyway, let's heat it up. I got shit to do. We were traveling last week. Of course, as soon as we land, next day I have a head cold. So here we are. We're getting there, but we're not ready. Yes, it bends, but I like to be able to flex a little bit. You don't want to overheat it. So, you know, your temperature matters here, because you can burn the backside if you're not careful. Oh, question I get a lot. What do you carry? I carry this old school P365 with a Sharps Bros frame. Just make sure the trigger is lined up, and I mean it is. I mean, this stuff happens naturally if you have a good mold. Since we taped the slide for a little extra clearance, you know, you can put a little pressure here, a little pressure on the trigger guard, make sure everything stays, and when you're ready, just cool the spine off. You can either wait or persuade it. And so fits perfect. Throw the hardware at it. Don't be a tool. Line up your hardware. Details matter. Again, we're going to cut this off here basically because this is not spec'd for a wing. This is the point in time where I would line up the hardware on the front side too. Because again, details kind of matter. They do to me at least. There you go. Let's fix that up. Why do you spend so much time on this side? Well, it's simple. That's the side that gets smashed against your body. You know, you try and make it as comfortable as humanly possible for the end user. Okay, we'll leave that in there actually. See where the clip lands. I'll usually ship them low, unless it's a gigantic firearm and the grip has a good chance of being pronounced in the higher position. Still gonna ship it low. People love to mess with stuff, so I no longer thread lock IWB attachments. Even with the lightest thread locker, the backside of the Chicago screw can spin, and it can be very difficult for the end user to stop it from spinning. It can be very frustrating when that happens, understandably so. So I don't do that anymore. They don't come loose. It's not like an outside the waistband where there's nothing constantly adding pressure or strain against the fasteners, so they will not come loose. You don't have to completely smash them. I just like to make them even squish, line up the fasteners, and boom, that one's done. Nice inside the waistband, adjustable cant, adjustable ride height. It's you know, fully covered on the safety side. High sweat guard. Good shit. Anyway, that's that. I'll finish up this one off camera and, you know, send this guy out.